Okay, GolfPunk here again. There we are. We're here with Rick Cressman, the owner of Nailcott, the host of the British Par 3. Rick, wonderful weather today.
Oh, I'm pleased about that.
Yeah, because I actually saw you actually helping out with the groundskeepers yesterday.
Big time. We haven't got a very big team here. We're in a little venue with a little course with a very big heart, but that takes a little bit of care, and it takes a lot of personal time, as well as the team of people I have here. But it's a very small team for a small course, so when things go a bit against you, like the weather did yesterday, you've got to give a bit of leadership. So try to put these pensioner muscles into action, you know.
With the nice weather that we've got today, how do you think this is going to pan out?
Well, I quite fancy, because we had to shorten the tournament to just 9 holes yesterday. It's meant that we've got quite a packed leaderboard, but a very interesting leaderboard, because it's got everything in it, really. The sort of top 20 players includes, everything from last year's champion Mark Mouland to Lee Slattery, we were just having a chat to other tour players in the mix, but also Dame Laura Davis, Amy Bolden, Megan McLaren, Rebecca Artis, our first international lady player. It also includes, right near the top of the leaderboard, 2 of our pros that qualified at the qualifier a couple of months ago. And then right at the top of it, you've got past champion Richard O'Hanlon, who finished second last year to Mark Mouland, and right next to him, just a shot away, ex-Masters champion and world number 1, Ian Woosnam. So it's got to be the best mixed sort of top 15, 20 players. So I quite fancy today that we're going to see a playoff. I think there's so many close that there's going to be some real to-in and fro-in as the afternoon pans out. So I think it'll be the most exciting finish to a British Par 3 Championship that we've ever done. That's what I think, anyhow.
I hope so, because I mean, I love this event. I mean, what do you think this event means in terms of standing out from the crowd from other golf competitions?
Well, I've got to be honest, I really do feel it is unique. There, as far as I can see, we've got, people, both lady players, men players. We've got young juniors, 12, 13 years old, to super seniors, like Larry Loretti and Tommy Horton, Tony Jacklin, all in their 70s now, and lots of all ages in between. You can't get a better mix, but they're all playing from the same tee position, doesn't matter how old they are, anything at all. It does not matter. On a par 3 course with the shortest hole 95 yards, longest hole 146 yards, this is the event where they really can get everyone competing on a level playing field. It doesn't matter how old they are. It doesn't matter what sex they are. It's a real opportunity to show that this game is a game for all, and it's a sport that really is for life. You can enjoy this from 5 to 95, or who knows, maybe even more. We saw, I think somewhere in the States or somewhere the other day, there was someone into his about 103 had a hole in one. Well, you got a few chances for him to come and play this one then.
Yeah, we should bring him over next year.
We haven't actually had somebody playing in the par 3 over 100. We have had them well up into the late 80s, but who knows? Maybe that'll be something that'll happen as well. It probably will happen, to be honest. I wouldn't be surprised. People are living longer. They want to keep playing sport longer, and I think par 3 golf has this enormous role to play in the future of the game in a society around the world where everyone's got less time to enjoy their leisure, and the demands on all of us are just so much tougher, I think, than even when I was a youngster growing up and starting in business. It is just plain harder. People don't get that time.
I mean, because GolfPunk, we're currently doing a campaign about pitch and putt, and why it's so important, how it's the place where we all started playing golf. You come here and it's an amazing tournament, and it's just like this is how it should be, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I mean, a lot of people talk about the Tiger effect. I actually always talk about the John Daly effect, because for me, ever since John Daly started bombing 300-yard drives, selling drivers has been the whole golf industry sort of reason for being, and I think that's very, very sad, personally. They probably make lots more money out of drivers, but this is where all the pros will say to me, this is where you can practice the skills that pays the bills.
Yes.
We've all heard about driving for show and putting for dough, but this is where you can see all of those short game skills that if you're going to be a really good golfer, you've got to have. Tommy Fleetwood a few years ago played in 2011 and he was beaten up. 2012 he came back and he won the tournament, and when he made his winner's speech he said, I realised last year that my short game wasn't good enough. I'm so pleased to win this tournament because it proves that the work I've put in the last 12 months has really paid off. And then 2 weeks later, he won his first European Tour event.
And he's gone on and on.
He's gone on and on. But then he had a lull. He had a bit of a lull last year. He came back and played in the Par 3 Championship last year. And you said, Tommy Fleetwood was here last year.
Yeah.
He's now number 15 in the world. And a young man who was playing here when he was 5 years old, Aaron Rye from Wolverhampton.
That's right,
Aaron's now won 3 Challenge Tour events this season, and he's got his European Tour card, and that's just fantastic to see. And I've watched him go round this course until he got dizzy. practicing, and I'm absolutely certain that dedication, he's full of dedication as a young man, and always has been. He's always wanted to become that European Tour pro, but he's always loved playing here, and I'm sure he's learned a lot from it. And I think Charlie Hull similarly has played here a lot, and with Mark Mouland, great experience as a 10-year-old playing with Mark, and every year just about since. It's fantastic, and it's just a great way for people to really fall in love with the game, I think. Going up the driving range and hitting drivers till you're blue in the face trying to hit the ball 300 yards, I don't really think that's the...
this sorts the men from the boys.
This really does sort it out. I mean, you just hitting the ball miles, you go here, there and everywhere, but round the greens, on the greens, out the bunkers, all of those shots are so important, but they get underestimated all the time.
And it's a tricky course.
Oh yeah,
it's a tricky one.
But I do think the whole golf industry got a bit sort of, and is still a bit overcharged with how far can we bully the ball. That's the lovely thing, seeing the mix of ladies and men playing here. No one's here trying to bully a ball around. They're actually here to demonstrate skill and touch. And that's what the game of golf really is. It's a game of skill, not bullying and muscle. And I think that's the key thing that I think, hopefully, the Farm Foods British Par 3 Championship really does demonstrate to people.
Because it reflects on the leaderboard, because we've got Amy Bolden up there, we've got Annabelle Dimmock up there,
and Dame Laura
up there, and then we've got Ian up there. We've got a whole nice mix.
Oh, it's all ages, And on top of all that, you've got a young lad Jacob Jones playing with Mark Mouland as his amateur partner. He's only 13 years old. He qualified to play in the tournament for the second year running this year. Brilliant. And I'd say, just like Aaron Ray before him, I think this is another young man to watch. Let's see what he does over the next 10 years. I think definitely a name to put down in the notes, and just see what Jacob Jones does too.
So remember that name, Jacob Jones. Rick, as always, absolute pleasure to see you.
No, lovely.
Thank you very much for your
pleasure.
time, mate.
No
Thank
problem.
you.
If you think that's all right for you, then.